Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing so well. I am very excited about today's video also. I know I don't need to do a disclaimer, but let me just disclaim. I'm not wearing makeup because one, we're in lockdown and I'm just sitting at home, and two, it's just so unrealistic for me to put makeup on just to film the video. Like, this is real life here. And I'm not talking about anything overly glam, so you got the real me today. But I'm really excited about today's video. This is, and I know I've said this a couple of times in my YouTube career, but this has probably been like the most requested video I've had in a very, very, very long time. The response has been absolutely insane, and it is about my keto journey. And I'm well aware that not everyone on my YouTube channel follows my Instagram, but if you didn't know, I have recently kind of undergone a personal transformation where I have lost a lot of weight, lost all my baby weight, and it's kind of been also a mental transformation as well. I have been absent a lot on my YouTube channel, and what I've kind of gone through has a lot to do with that. So that's what I'm going to be explaining in this video. I'll probably do a few parts to this video only because I don't want it to be like an hour long. So I'll probably like tell you guys the journey and everything that I've done in this video, and then in the next video I'll be answering all of your questions. So yeah, if you guys want to know my journey and how I lost all the baby weight and where I'm at now, then please stick around and enjoy this video. So it's very hard for me to know where to start with this video because I feel like there's just so much to it, but I'm going to try and keep it strictly about keto. But I want to give you guys a little background as to why I started keto. So obviously you guys know I had a baby, my beautiful daughter Madeline, who is my heart and soul and the light of my life. But obviously when having a baby and going through pregnancy, you gain a lot of weight, and it's a lot more than just a physical change. I found a very, very, very big shift in my mentality. And just like as a brief overview, and I know I said this in my Instagram post, I am going to put my picture, my before and after picture here. If you guys haven't seen it on my Instagram, I would love it if you guys can go check it out and just read the caption to kind of understand the background of it all. But basically after I had my daughter, I suffered some pretty bad postpartum depression. It was pretty bad. I was a very, very miserable person, and a lot of it had to do with the way I looked. You guys have seen even on YouTube that my appearance completely changed. I gained 20, how much weight was it? It was like just over 20 kilos, 23 kilos or something. My skin went insane. I'm someone who's never suffered acne in my life, but when I got pregnant, I turned into an ogre. My acne was just everywhere. It was all over my face, my chest, my back, my arms. It was just all over my body, head to toe. And obviously, like, I just completely shut down. Like, I lost all confidence. I did not even know who I was, and that was the thing after I had my daughter. I'm gonna do a whole other video on the postpartum journey because I think that is really, really, really important. I think a lot of women out there could relate to it. But basically I felt like I'd really lost myself, and I always get so emotional talking about it because it was such a hard time in my life. And I kind of didn't really reach out to anyone for help, which is one of my biggest regrets. And I'll talk about this in a later video, but if you are postpartum and struggling a little bit, reach out for help because that is my biggest regret. But basically, I just lost all sense of who I was, and I felt like I was mourning a death. The death of myself, mourning the death of the person that I used to be, and that's the person. Why does my nose look so red? But I was just craving to be the person I once was, you know, fit, healthy, somewhat confident. But throughout this journey, I realized that the old Heidi was gone, and I was never going to get her back, and I needed to love and embrace the new Heidi and the new person that I've become. Because when you have a child, you're basically reborn yourself. You become a completely different person. So early on, I realized that in order for me to move on from that mindset, I needed to love and nurture myself. So I really struggled with finding the motivation to kickstart my healthy lifestyle again. You know, I've always been into F45, I've always been into clean eating, but I really struggled with the motivation. And I do this because one of the biggest lessons I've learned in this journey is that it is not all about motivation. If you are going to sit around and wait to feel motivated or wait for this sudden surge of motivation, it's never going to happen. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't just wake up and go, oh, I feel so motivated. One thing that I did learn is that it's all about discipline. It's all about self-discipline. You need to discipline yourself, retrain yourself to get out of old habits and start new ones. So I'm going to start off by saying that it's all about self-discipline. Do not wait to feel motivated. Do not wait for this kick of motivation, because it probably will never come. You need to discipline yourself and, you know, train yourself to, I guess, feel motivated. You kind of got to retrain your brain into thinking, I am motivated. And you also need to want the transformation bad enough. There was nothing in this world that I wanted more than to feel comfortable again. I get emotional saying it out loud because I'm just so sad that I felt this way, but I was so ashamed of how I looked and who I was. And I know my family and friends and the people who truly love me didn't care about those things, but I did. And I just saw myself that I just wanted to be fit and healthy for my daughter. I wanted to be someone that my daughter could look up to, be proud of. So this is how it started. So also, let me just also note, I have heard about keto before, like many years ago. I'm a big follower of Jazz Hand, and I've watched her keto journey and her weight loss journey from day dot in 2017. She was my inspo to kickstart a healthy lifestyle, but when I saw her starting keto, I just remember looking into it and thinking, nah, that's just too hard. I can't do that, like no chance. And this was years ago, and I was like, yeah, nah, like that's out of my mind. So I actually I booked an eyelash appointment with my gorgeous friend Lena. She is one of the most incredible people in my life, but I was like, I just want to feel a little bit better about myself. So I booked a lash lift with her, and she is, if you're in Melbourne, she's based in Mickleham, the best lash lift you will ever get. Lash lift and tint with Lena. Incredible. Anyway, during my appointment, I was kind of just like talking about it, talking to her about everything, and because I hadn't seen her in a while, and she was looking amazing. And she had told me that she'd actually gone keto 4 weeks prior, and she'd lost like 7 kilos, and you know, it's been an amazing change, and she feels amazing. She's got so much energy, and she was telling me all about it, and I was like, oh, I've heard about it, but I just didn't think that I could do it. I'm like, it just sounds really hard. And she was like, no, once you do your research, once you like look into it and actually start it, it's actually not that hard. And she was so right. Like once you get the hang of it, it doesn't even become a diet. It's like a lifestyle change. It's the best lifestyle that I've ever like done. Like it's amazing. Anyway, so she was telling me all about it. She was hyping me, and I was like, okay. She's seen amazing results, and I'm like, you know what, I need to do this. I need to do this for myself, because if I don't make a change now, if I do not make the change today, then I'm never going to do it. And we were also in the middle of lockdown, so this is the first lockdown in Melbourne. So I had lost a bit of weight. I'd lost like 5 kilos of my baby weight prior, but I'd gained most of it back. So I had gone down from like 88 kilos to 83, and then I went down to 81, and then when I started F45 I went down to 78, and then during lockdown I went back up to 82. So my self-esteem was at an all-time low, and I'm pretty short, so big weight gain shows a lot, and I look really big, round and chunky. So I was like, okay, I need to do this. So I went home, I did my research. She was telling me about the egg fast. You don't have to do an egg fast. It's just a way of kickstarting ketosis and getting you into ketosis a lot faster. So I'll talk a little bit about that later on. But yeah, like I jumped onto it, did the egg fast. I kind of winged it at the start. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was doing my research, and I saw results instantly. instantly. And my goal was to reach my pre-baby weight, which was 68.5 kilos. My goal was to reach that by my birthday, and I had started this mid-June. So I started keto mid-June of this year. So I had 12 kilos to lose, or 13 kilos to lose, and in 2.5 months I did it. I lost 13.5 kilos in 2.5 months, and I can't even begin to tell you like the happiness I feel. But it's not even just about the weight. I feel like during the process I kind of reprogrammed my mind. My mind became very different, not so negative. I didn't feel so miserable. I feel like once I started to lose the weight, and I let go of other things in my life, I made room for other things. I was going to show you guys my vision board for 2020, but I took it apart yesterday to make room for a new vision board. But basically my vision board that I made at the start of this year was all about learning to love myself, losing the weight, being grateful for everything that's around me. It was really heavily focused on self-love, self-importance, self-acceptance, and I actually looked at it for the first time. I actually forgot about it, but I took it out last week and I looked at it, and I had realized that I had achieved every single thing on that vision board. You know, during the process of losing all the weight, I really learned to love myself and to accept myself and to love this new person that I've become, because I've realized that, you know, the old Heidi that I wanted to be was never coming back. And you know, I've got like this new and improved Heidi right here, and do you know what? I love her so much. To take my glasses off because they were getting a bit foggy, but I can honestly say that I have never in my life, even before I had Madeline, I have never been this confident in myself. I've never felt this strong, and I have never loved myself more than I do now. So yeah, I'm really grateful to Lena for encouraging me to start keto, because I really don't think that she fully understands what she's done for me, and I really hope she watches this video. I'll tell her I have my appointment with her at the end of October, so I'll be like, hey, check out this video. But yeah, so it was a lot more of a mental makeover than it was a physical one. It was both, but I've reached the mentality that I've been dying to be in for the last 17 months. So yeah, that is pretty much the journey. I'll touch on more about postpartum stuff in another video, as I mentioned earlier, if that's what you guys want to see, but I think I might do it anyway, just because I feel like it's something that's really important. So I'm gonna talk about now what I did to start keto, and then in the next video I'll answer all you guys' questions. So basically, to start my keto journey, I did a lot of Googling. I Googled a lot of information. You know, your research is really important. It's not really something that someone else can tell you. You kind of need to do it yourself so you can process it and understand. So I Googled a lot. I didn't have a meal plan, and that's something that I get asked a lot. I didn't use a meal plan. I literally just winged my meals every single day for nearly 2 months. I used Pinterest. Pinterest was my _1 recipe inspiration. Like, I would just pin so many recipes that I wanted to try, and I used that. And also I tracked my meals in Carb Manager, and I'll show you guys the app. So it literally looks like this. I haven't logged any of my meals today. It's still early because I haven't had any. It's 9:30. But basically this is what it looks like. I don't really track my meals as much now. My macros are very low just because I'm trying to cut down my carbs until the end of October, but I kind of always go over because I do work out every single day. So that's another thing. Obviously we went back into stage 4 lockdown, and I just knew, after the first lockdown, I went back to F45 and worked out and did that every single day, but that only lasted 3 weeks, and then we were back into lockdown and we went to stage 4, and I was like, I know I can't go back into that hole that I went in last time. So I stuck with F45, and I've been doing their Zoom classes every single morning. I train 5 days a week. I do miss the occasional session, so between 4 to 5 sessions a week, and that has been such a savior of my mentality and my health. It's been absolutely incredible. But yeah, that was pretty much all I did to kickstart keto. I googled a lot of information, did my research, I downloaded Carb Manager, I used Pinterest for my inspo, and that's pretty much it. Like, it was very, very, very straightforward, and let me tell you guys, it was the easiest diet change, lifestyle change that I've ever done. Very straightforward. And even my husband said to me 2 days ago, he was like, you know, I never believed diets worked. He's like, you really proved to me that these things actually work, like if you make a change. And I was like, well, yeah, if you stick to something long enough, and you're really determined, like, I think anything could work. So it actually kind of meant a lot to me. I don't think you realized, but yeah, and it's just been, like I said, it's very simple, but I just have to say this now before I forget, which I won't forget, but it's just so important to me that I just got to put it out there. Like, after I put up that Instagram post, I can't even begin. Like, firstly, I knew I'd get some comments, but I didn't expect the response that I got. But the thing that's blown my mind the most is how many people have been inspired by that and that have started keto. Like, so many of people that I know personally, like my friends and family, have now made the change for themselves. And I swear, that day I put that post up, I cried for 2 days straight, because my goal in life was always to, like, inspire one person, and to know that I've inspired so many people to make that change for themselves, so many mums who felt the same way that I do, and so many people that I know personally, and I don't think they even know how much that means to me. Like, it just blows my mind. And, you know, my goal in life was to always, you know, if I inspired one person to make a change for themselves, like, that was my life made. But to know that so many have been inspired, like, I can't even, and I feel like such a sook right now, like getting emotional, but it's the only way I can express myself and to let you guys know how much the support truly means. But yeah, as well as what I did for keto, so along with the research and tracking on Carb Manager, also when you jump on Carb Manager, it kind of picks your macros for you. I don't really know anything about macros, and I'm still not that educated on macros, so I kind of just went with what the app put in for me itself, and it worked. I just tracked, I was on 30 grams of carbs a day. I wouldn't recommend any less than that for a beginner because I think that would be really difficult. I also intermittent fasted every single day, and I still do now, although I don't think there's a point, because a couple of weeks ago I started taking protein after my workouts. So I have that at about 7:30 in the morning, which, because it's got calories, it would break my fast anyway. But I generally don't eat until 12 p.m. so I fast between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. I eat only between those hours, and I felt like in the early days that helped so much. Like, that was a big help. As well as, I didn't eat them at the start, but low carb desserts and snacks, I was a bit afraid of them at the start, but now I'm addicted. Like, I'm so addicted to, like, the Atkins low carb bars. The caramel crunch is like a Snickers bar, only without the guilt of carbs. Like, it tastes incredible. It blows my mind that something can taste that good and be so low in carbs. Like, it's amazing. And other little things that I started doing were MCT oil in my coffee. So I have that in the morning, even before I break my fast. Like, I found that so fine. So I put 2 teaspoons of MCT oil in my coffee, and I drink it black. I've always had black coffee, so the change didn't really bother me. And I get a lot of questions about, does it taste bad? Is it too oily? It actually doesn't. The coffee doesn't taste really that different. It is a little bit oily when you drink it, but that doesn't bother me too much. As well as electrolytes. I buy electrolyte water from Woolies or Coles or wherever, and I drink a lot of that throughout the week. As well as water in general, I drink between 3 to 5 liters of water a day. Keeping your water up is so important, and I never really used to drink that much. Or maybe I'd drink like a liter. Even when I was breastfeeding, like, I really wouldn't drink that much, but now, yeah, I'm downing so much water a day, and yes, I pee so much, it's insane. But yeah, those are, like, really the main things that I did, the main changes I made. As following a keto diet, if you do your research, you know that it's just high fat, low carb. I just want to end this video on a high note and say that you guys can do anything that you put your mind to. If you want it bad enough, you can do it. Also, I officially weigh almost 3 kilos less than actually I'm like 2.5 kilos less than my pre-baby weight. So my goal was 68.5 kilos. I am now sitting, I think, just below 66 kilos. So I have not weighed that little in so long, and bearing in mind I've actually gained a lot of muscle as well. I am as toned as I was pre-baby. Like I fit into all my old clothes again. So the number on the scale doesn't bother me too much, but this is the closest I've ever been to my pre-marriage weight. Like I never got there before I had Maddie. I think the lowest I got was 67, and now I'm like in the 65s. Like it's freaking insane. I would love to get down to my pre-marriage weight of 60 kilos. That is my ultimate goal. However, not really putting too much pressure on myself because I don't actually care. Like, you know, while retraining my mind, I told myself, you know, I used to look at, like, before I lost the weight, I used to look at my photos of before I had Maddie, and I was like, if I ever get back to that, like, don't ever complain again. Do not complain. So I've retrained my mind not to complain about the little things. Like, I've achieved my goal, and that was the main thing. And that, okay, so it cut me off because I've been talking for too long, but I'm just gonna pick up again. So that's the thing for me. Like 5 months ago, my wish was, like, you know, all I wanted was to look the way that I do now. Like that was my ultimate goal. So I told myself that when, it was never an if, it was when I reached that. Actually, it was kind of an if because I never thought that I'd achieve it, but when I hit that goal, I'm never going to complain again. I'm not going to complain about my legs being too thick, about not being able to lose weight on my inner thighs, which was always my issue. I'm going to be content with what I have because, you know, I wasn't happy when I had it, and now all I want is to have that back, you know. So little things like my stretch marks, my mum tum, you know, the flabby parts of my inner thighs that I'll never be able to lose because I've never been able to lose them, don't bother me anymore. Like, even though I've said the things that would generally bother me, like I don't care. Like, it does not bother me in the slightest. I am so happy and so content, and I have never in my life been able to say that. Even when I was at my fittest, like before I had Madeline, like there was always things that I'd complain about, and I was never happy with where I was at. But now that I am beyond that point, you know, I'm better now than I was back then. Even though, like, my situation now is so different. Like, even though I may actually be fitter than I was back then, I still don't look the same. You know, there are still things that are different, but I've learned to be so content. Like, I can't even explain how content and happy I am. Like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I've got a bit of a mum tum, but like, who cares? Like, I can genuinely say I don't care and genuinely mean it. Like, I'm not trying to convince myself that it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to convince myself that I have to love my stretch marks. Like, I do love them. Like, I am happy. I am content with that. Like, you know, I knew from the minute I got pregnant, like, it was like the bounce back was never going to be perfect. So I think part of the journey as well was learning to accept all that and be okay with that. I think that was the most important part of my transformation for me. Yeah, I don't know if that is all going to make sense in a sequence, but I'm just trying to get out everything that I need to say, so you guys know where I'm at now. Like, I am more motivated with work, you know. There was lots of things in my life at that point, in especially the month of June, that changed for me. You know, I kickstarted, you know, my change. You know, I let go of things and people that were not benefiting me, and not just not benefiting me, but things that were just different and things that I feel like needed to change in my life, you know. And guys, let me tell you, as soon as I did that, as soon as I let go of certain things and certain people and made the change for myself, everything changed. Everything changed. My life changed. Like, I will never be able to tell you everything that has changed. Maybe I will one day, but so many doors opened, so many opportunities, personal opportunities came my way. And yeah, it's just, I just really want to emphasize, like, this is why I'm talking about it. I really want to emphasize that it's been more of a mental transformation than anything, and which is something that I've wanted for so long. You know, I wanted to not think so negatively, not be so miserable. I just wanted to have a really clear, content mind and just be happy and be positive again. And yeah, I got there. But yeah, I am gonna end this video here because it's gotten a little bit long. I do apologize. But yeah, I am going to go through your questions and kind of accumulate the most asked ones, and yeah, and answer them in a video. But if you guys have any questions in this video, drop them down below and I can maybe do a third video. I think there'll be quite a few keto lifestyle, not motivation related videos, but just like, I guess, uplifting videos, positive videos. So yeah, if there's anything like in this category that you guys want to see, drop them in the comments down below. I know I'm really horrible at replying to comments because I do have a lot on my plate, but I do read them all, just know that. And I really am going to make more of an effort to be replying to most of the comments. So yeah, thank you guys if you made it this far in the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it. That would really help me a lot, and it would help me with the algorithm these days, because I really don't think a lot of you are seeing my videos in your subscription boxes. So yeah, if you can, turn on your post notifications. That would be really helpful. You guys will be notified whenever I do upload, and there will be a lot more exciting videos to come, rest assured. I think more videos that are not in the makeup section, I think, will be coming, just because I feel like my interests are changing and I really want my growth to reflect my channel. Or my channel to reflect my growth, and I want to share that with you guys. So yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in that. But I'm going to end the video here. I love you guys so incredibly much. Thank you for sticking around on this journey. You'll never know how much that means to me. But here's to all that is yet to come. Thank you guys again. I will see you in my next video. Bye.